maps as well. So we're heading into game 2 where the players had a free pick of all civilizations but except for Huns, Mayans and Aztecs. And we're expecting to see a lot of Britons and Celts in game 2 of this tournament, but interestingly Viper going with Vikings, and that surprises me purely because he seems to like Britons so much. I would have thought they would have been his top pick here, but the other interesting thing is Vivi going with Spanish, which is probably going to be quite a disadvantage given how kind of like powerhouse the Vikings are in the kind of mid-castle age, with the wheelbarrow and the free handcart just sort of like slingshotting them through in the early and mid-game. And I think...
Overlay,
oh,
apparently.
Yep, okay. Sorry. You have only missed me hovering over the town centre whilst going like, whoa, what the hell? Viper's Vikings and Vivi is Spanish. Yeah, Spanish seems like a choice that's going to leave Vivi kind of vulnerable on this map. Wouldn't you agree? Like with their inability to make the crossbows and everything?
Yeah, well, Spanish, obviously he'd want to draft FC Conks ideally, but I don't think he can wall his map, so the only other choice is to go Scout and then transition into Conquistador maybe, or go for a Tower Rush or something like that. We'll have to see what he decides on, because obviously Viper is famous for liking Britons, so whether he's against Vikings or Britons, he's going to be expecting to come come against a civilization with very strong crossbow line. So the choice, I don't know, doesn't make much sense to me either, apart from tower rushing maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I was really confused yesterday in game 2 when Tim and Happy went for it was a Spanish war, and I was like, do the Chinese really love Spanish on Arabia that much that it's like their 4th Arabia Civ? And then we load up another game today, and there we go, we've got another Chinese player playing Spanish, and I think that the two players were on Team Random yesterday, but I don't know, it seems kind of odd. Maybe there is some kind of like Chinese preference for Spanish, and maybe it is to do with the building bonus with like towers and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting to see how this is going to play out, because we're going to see a very asymmetrical game here, because the Vikings obviously very strong drush into archers and crossbow play, backed up by the superior economy from the wheelbarrow and the handcart, and then Spanish, of course, for Vivi means that he can't make crossbows at all, and he's going to have to either do knights or conks or a tower rush, as you said. So we're going to see a very different, contrasting playstyle from each player. Let's go and have a look at the maps. You can see that Viper has a kind of fairly exposed main gold, which won't be so easy to mine given that it's pressed up against the forest. Also at the bottom of the hill, so that's kind of nice for Vivi to try and harass later on. But the rest of his map is very wallable, I would say. I mean, his wood lines could be towered if he kind of walls himself in very close to his base using the gaps between the forests. But he does have a kind of like nice safe area in the back to make use of in the earlier game. Vivi, meanwhile, has a map which I think, as you were saying, Helen, it's not that easy to wall except across the front. And if he does wall up like between the cliff and the forest, and then between the cliff and the forest here, it will give him a safe stone probably, with a little bit of like walling up the house walling or something on the right hand side in order to mine that stone and get the castle up, or perhaps even towers if he goes for towers early. But it's a much more open map than Viper's, I would say. His main gold in particular is out in the middle of nowhere on the east side, and I think that could be quite vulnerable. It's going to be very difficult to get any kind of complete wall off, so kind of a drush FC Conquistador play could be a little bit vulnerable if Viper plays quite aggressively early on. See Viper dropping a barracks now, so we're probably going to see drush into feudal archers like Drush Floss or Drush FC crossbows from him, and it'll be interesting to see if Vivi is able to cope with that, because it is, as I said, very open map generation, and that's the kind of thing where crossbow harassment can be very dangerous.
Well, it seems like Vivi's going for scouts, but he obviously got Loom early, so that's going to delay his scout rush a little bit. He won't be able to click up at 21 pop. He didn't actually. Well, actually, he's doing 22 pop now, and it's a little. Oh, wait, is Viper have Loom yet? No, so it's pretty much on time then.
Yeah, he seemed to prefer the 22 pop scouts in the last game as well, actually, didn't he?
Yeah, he does. It's easier and you don't have to worry about idling, especially with a bit of lag, which I'm sure they are.
Right, Viper's Drush is coming out now.
And it's the Tower Rush.
Oh yeah, indeed. How many? Wow, that isn't a huge number of villagers going forward. Is that 8?
I said Tower Rush, but I didn't think he was going to send 8 vills to Tower Rush either.
This is going to be a lot of towers very quickly with the Spanish building bonus as well. There's just going to be towers springing up all over Viper's woodlines. I said his woodlines are very terrible, but he probably won't be expecting to have so many towers appearing so quickly. Because by the time Vivi gets to the feudal age, he's going to have a decent bank of stone. He's already got 250, and with 4 vills on stone, he'll probably be able to do 2 towers instantly with a third one very quickly after that. Question: Viper's just sending vills to gold now, and he sees it straight away. So Vivi using 8 villagers to build that first initial tower on the gold, and then moving straight away to another one. But Viper not responding. Viper's not in the feudal age yet, so he's not able to respond with a tower of his own, but trying to get the wall off. But importantly, Vivi's scout rushes in, stands on the tile, and that means that the wall will not be delaying Vivi at all. It would be broken through very quickly anyway if he tried to Vil bash it or shoot it down with the towers. But Vivi can just walk straight in and start putting towers at everywhere else in Viper's base. Viper could be hard pressed to defend this. You can see he's fully focused on defending because his Drush is idle in Vivi's base, making it a bit of a waste at this point in time. Vivi's just going to keep coming. Got enough stone to drop that third tower now, and it will go up extremely quickly because of the 8 Spanish villagers all hammering away. Viper palisading either side of his town centre just to try and stop Vivi from coming, and actually trying to get up a double palisade, although he won't get many hit points on that second layer at all, with the last tile being on 12 hit points. But that does stop Vivi getting into the back of his base for now, and Viper's fully walled off on the left hand side as well. So the palisade wall does buy him just a little bit of time, but Vivi's through already actually, and could well be able to get another tower up in range of Viper's stone, which would be pretty crucial, because it would mean that Viper wouldn't be able to do any counter towers or more than one or two, considering he's got enough stone in the bank to put 2 down actually at the moment.
Or just real wall.
Yeah, it's hard to see. I think like Vivi's going to lose a couple of villages on the left hand side at least, although 1 or 2 of Vipers might go down. In fact, no, he's pulling the injured one away pretty well, and it feels like Vivi has just lost quite a bit of momentum there. Does actually pick up a villager, but one of his towers is going to go down, and importantly it's the one that gives him a foothold close to where Viper's resources now are. And Vivi losing some of his forward villagers as well, one of them just on a few hit points. Vivi is going to get that tower up though at the base of the hill, which could allow him to take down 1 or 2 more villagers. It feels like Viper's kind of stabilised the situation though now, I think. He's getting another tower up on his stone, which will mean that he'll be able to shoot down that villager that's attacking the base of his own tower, and then from that point he's probably going to be able to stop Vivi pushing any further in. So the question is, like, whose economy is in better shape after that chaos? Viper, as you can see, has no food in the bank whatsoever, although he's got a few farmers working, so he'll be able to resume villager production fairly soon, even if his town centre is idle for now. And Vivi, obviously, no harassment at home, but he did send 8 villagers forward, so his economy is going to be in pretty dire shape too. But I'd say it's probably looking a little bit less messy, at least in terms of food economy. He's still mining a lot of stone at home, so he hasn't given up on the tower push, although he could also be thinking of like using that stone for a castle later, and also possibly selling some to go up at some point. We'll see if he drops a market at all. For now, Viper just only has that 1 lumber camp on the left hand side, so with I think 8 or so villagers on wood, he's not going to be able to do too much else whilst he continues to drop farms. Viper's Drush finally active.
And the Drush.
Yeah, it's finally doing something. It looks like a villager's trapped on that foundation. I think one of them is going to go down. In fact, no, getting into the tower just in time. And I think Vivi will be able to defend that. He's doing towers at home as well to defend, since he knows that Viper's going to be coming back the other way at some point. For now, though, he's just cheekily mining Viper's main gold.
Yeah, Viper's already mining another gold pile, so he doesn't mind too much. And this is the trush into Castle Conquistadors. I see Chinese players doing this sometimes. I forgot about it actually because it doesn't happen all that often. Also, wow, his eco is really messy. I'm looking at the lumberjacks and they're everywhere, so...
Yeah, the one's taking stragglers on the left-hand side, pretty interesting. And Viper's just getting into the wood line as well, but taking downhill hits, and that's going to be a non-factor now. Viper also getting up a tower, which I think once that tower has fletching, it will push Vivi somewhat away from that main gold pile. It was only hitting one villager for now, which is almost dead. But Viper is starting to... Actually, just putting down a blacksmith, so maybe he will be going for fletching. He doesn't actually have enough food to be thinking about the castle age just yet, but Vivi is much closer, just 250 food away, putting down a market and a blacksmith, and as you say, continuing to mine lots more stones, so we are going to see that trush into Conquistadors. And I think that that could prove quite effective for him, because he's still got towers which are pushing Viper away from a lot of the wood lines, and then Conquistadors behind this wood line on the left would make it very difficult for Viper to actually take wood, and he's going to be in the castle age much sooner. Clicking up now.
Are you seeing the tower on Viper's secondary gold?
Ah, yeah, good spot. Yeah, when you said Viper was taking gold, I hadn't actually noticed that that was the spot that he was taking it from. But that's really intelligent by Vivi. Good scouting as well. Just stonewalling it in to be sure that the tower is going to go up. And Viper is still 300 food away. He's floating a bank of 500 gold, so I'm surprised that we're not seeing him like perhaps dropping a market to get up, although wood is kind of an issue for him in terms of collecting it, so maybe he doesn't want to spend 175 wood on a market at the moment, I don't know. Nonetheless, Vivi is about 60% castle age now, doing fletching to make his towers more effective too. And that means Viper can't mine gold for now. Is dropping 2 archery ranges on the front of his base, and is just about to click up to the castle age as soon as those archery ranges go up. But yeah, until he reclaims some gold, he's not really going to be able to produce any archers or ultimately crossbows once that little bank of gold that he has runs out. And Vivi hitting the castle age before Viper's even clicked up, which means that although it takes a little while to get a castle up and some conquistadors out to start doing some raiding, he's definitely going to have that couple of minutes window to get that done ahead of Viper reaching the castle age. And right now Viper's map is just looking so vulnerable to conquistadors. I mean, his wood on the left is almost chopped through. He's got a mass exodus of villagers going over into the left hand side looking for building outposts and looking for sneaks or something, I think. But it's not going to, I'm not really sure what he's doing with all these villagers out here, to be honest. He didn't need to spend 3 villagers out there just to build a house and get some map vision. He's dropping
they
a market.
were mining gold, so he moved them directly to try and find a new gold pile.
Oh yeah, so the outposts were scouting for gold rather than scouting for Vivi. Gotcha.
Yeah.
See the castle for Vivi's coming up in front of his secondary stone, which means that he'll be able to continue mining stone and probably may well be looking for a second castle sometime after his first. But that castle has gone up around it's like 70% Viper's castle age time, so he will have a few conquistadors on the map, or a couple, the moment Viper actually hits the castle age. Well, 1 probably, but that means he's going to have a little while before. Oh wait, sorry, throat's a little dry.
Yep.
A little while where he can do that raiding before Viper really has too many crossbows on the map to split into groups and try and force him away. Because you see that Viper has only 7 archers at the moment, And the Conquistador's mobility means he can just avoid those. But he's choosing to try and micro against them, which is interesting. I'd have thought he would have been...
Crossbows are surprisingly effective against Conquistadors, so...
Yeah, no, I was saying I'm surprised that Vivi is choosing to micro against these archers instead of just going and doing some raiding. I suppose he wants to keep tabs on where the archers are and stop them going to his own economy, which is looking kind of open at the top.
He also doesn't want Viper to get to mass any of crossbows, so with the numbers they're in right now, they're much more he can handle them a lot easier. So he just clears them out. He knows Viper's probably got no access to gold, and is going to be really struggling. He's just secured Viper's secondary gold pile. So he just has to make sure that Viper doesn't mass army and then slowly but surely suffocate Viper out of the game.
Yep, that's looking really promising for Vivi in terms of the map control. He's actually on top of Viper's third gold as well. So not only is he denying those golds to Viper, but two of the gold mines that Viper had, he's actually been like taking some of it. So if this game goes into the late game, that will be a gold advantage for Vivi as well.
Yeah, but that's why Viper is building castle to resecure his main gold. And he is going to get that castle up, and then he'll be able to take his gold again. But, I mean, the damage is done. Vivi's been able to delay him so much, prevent him from massing those crossbows, and basically means his economy is free for the pickings with Conquistadors right now.
Yeah, as we're seeing in the bottom left-hand corner, there are only a couple of expos here. Vivi's killed those pretty easily, especially with the hill advantage. Viper's got one monk there, but Vivi can just flee with the mobility of the Conquistadors. He took down probably about 4 villages there, I should think. And let's just have a look at... I mean, Viper's reclaiming his main goal with the castle and is onto 2 town centres, but I'm going to assume that, okay, Vivi is on 2, but one of those is forward, stealing all of Viper's third gold for now. So I think that, like, economy is looking roughly even in terms of villager strength, but Vivi has a much more efficient economy for the last kind of like 10 game minutes, I think, because Viper has been so messy.
From Vivi. Main gold, Viper.
Yeah, I see
Defensive
it.
tower.
Yeah, that castle's going to go up that many villagers, and that is a pretty intelligent castle by Vivi because it just continues that gold starvation that we were talking about. And that's GG. Like, Viper sees it instantly. He just knows I can't get gold anymore. I'm gonna die. Really intelligent play by Vivi there, I think. We saw Spanish was an odd choice, but I think he used them to their strengths there, denying Viper gold and a lot of woodline with a tower push, transitioning into the Conquistadors, and then doing some nice raiding, and then a really intelligent castle place as the really intelligent castle placement as the killing blow. In terms of gold starvation for Viper, and I guess we'll just show that. Viper collecting only 1,300 gold. Vivi not much more, but he was also collected 2,500 stone, which was the main weapon for him in that game.